All right, welcome everybody. Today's video, we are over here at Ta Prohm Temple. We're in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and we're gonna go take a look at this one. Now this one is a 12th century temple, and it's actually being, part of the conservation effort is being led by India. So they're the ones that have seen this as a World Heritage Site, so they're doing what they can to restore it. Now this temple is colossal. I mean, there's the massive, massive outer wall, and we just drove all around to get to this temple. Now we're going to go into the west gate and we're going to see some of these cool faces and all of that, and so let's look around. Let's enjoy this. And there's the west gate, and you can see the four faces. Now they have the names of them. It's a big old long name I can't even pronounce. So it looks like they're doing a little bit to keep them from sloughing off. They got some cables wrapped around it. So let's go inside now. Got a little band over here. These are some performers that say they're victims of anti-personnel mines. Check out some of the trees that are growing along here, the vines growing up. Now I'm noticing that there's a lot of the Cambodians that have come here, and they're dressing up in the traditional clothes to do some pictures and all of that. They do that a lot in Ayutthaya, where over in Thailand, where people dress up and then they'll go take pictures. So here's some of the pictures of what this looked like when they were trying to restore it. So the condition was in pretty bad shape. The western entrance is the only one that was still intact. So they came in, they categorized everything, and then they shored up the base, and then they rebuilt the entrances. All right, so we're coming up on the moat. You can see here they just have the legs. We'll cross this wooden bridge and we'll go see what it looks like inside. The water here is pretty brackish. It doesn't get a fresh flow in. You see some of the rails over here with the naga. Got a huge tree right in the middle of this wooden walkway. And some stairs that went down into the moat over here. And then here's the west gate. You can see all the stonework. And this was covered at one time, but it's all collapsed down. And then over here, the stonework around the edges. And up there, wow. And then you've got to climb the threshold to get in. Lady over here doing the posing. You can see the braces for the stones. So they came off the center column and they kind of came out like spokes of a wheel. And then we'll go through here. So most of the stonework here is kind of weathered away. So this is pretty nice here on the inside of the gate. See the stonework above the top all along, and then this is the inside of the outer wall here. That's on the inside of the moat. Give you a 360 look here. That's the center part of the complex. And then over here, they have a big tree growing in the middle here. Now they also have the little walkway, the handrails. This one here would have had a naga. The same as over here. This one here still has a naga, but it looks like it's been restored because it's in pretty good condition. So the other side is all wore off completely. So part of that conservation effort was to restore this walkway right here because it was completely sunk down. So they've raised it back up to almost a meter high, and the width of that is 4.6 meters. So it's easy to come in now and see this ruin. And then this is the center complex part of it, which is fantastic. You can see the restoration work that's in process. And over there they jack that up so they can support it again. A lot of the guardians and all that, you can see where they've been restored. And then they have plenty of bricks over here to complete whatever they're going to do. And you can see here the back wall of it has all that detail work in it, and then they're repairing that little walkway. So that's what this is, this little covered walkway that goes all the way around it. And then it would have all the like the stories and everything on the back wall. So you can see here, this is kind of a rough construction still. But they'll eventually cover this back over all the way, so this will have the walkway. Let's go into here, the main part of the entrance. You can see here they have some of the figures that are pretty wore down. Just the bases of the Buddhas. That one's missing the head. And then they have these that have all been redone. And the same way it goes out there to just the rubble. So on this little prong right here, look at that tree that's grown on the whole side of it. And the same over here, tree is taken over. And there's still lots and lots of restoration that needs to happen in here. These guys have a huge job. You can see this here is in pretty good shape. Has all the stonework and everything here. You gotta climb up all these steps to see. Now there would have been a Buddha sitting right here. And this opens up into this. So you have another partial Buddha. Looks like there's no access up in there. They're doing, but people are climbing that way. Oh, it's a one-way. Have to go back around to go up in there. So you can see the prongs here, and in the center part with all those trees. Trees growing out of everything. So these trees have really hammered these walls and buildings. The roots just split open the seams, and it causes everything to collapse. Yeah, this place is pretty fantastic. It's in a pretty rough condition, but it's still amazing. So I think this one would probably be nice to come back in like 5 years or so, when a lot of this renovation work is completed. There's just a lot of the bricks and everything all around. So they just put the puzzle back together. You can see how the outer wall is here. And these massive, massive trees. So this is right in front over here, this is the eastern wall. So we'll circle back around and go into the middle again. And there's some more of the little prongs in the middle. Now there's a lot of debris, so it makes it to where you can only walk in a few places. And then they have a lot of other stuff that's kind of cordoned off. There's a million bricks here, but this place is so massive. I mean, the outer wall, like I said at the start, was 1 kilometer by 700 meters. And when you're walking around here, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because it is boiling hot. That is fantastic. The tree that's taken over that little building. You can see the restoration work that they've completed on this, where they've redone all the work. And then inside, you can see where they fixed that up. It looks like the walkway is more intact over here. Yeah, you can see they've restored this part. And then you have more of the courtyard back there. All right, let's walk this way. And they're doing a bunch more restoration over there. Yeah, I don't even want to know what it was like to pick up these rocks to move them around. 700-pound rocks, trying to pick them up and put them back into place. You see this tree here. It's a popular photo place. All the tree roots, and they've got the tree root jacked up over there. A little bit more of this inner courtyard. Those buildings over there are quite nice. I mean, what they have restored is fantastic, but there is so much more work to do at this temple. Just look at that huge tree right there in the middle. So you can see here how this tree has grown. And it's just massive. I mean, that lady's standing in it. It's taken over that whole little building on this side. That used to be the covered walkway that went right there. So this is the back part of that covered walkway. And there's more to this temple complex now over here on the east side. You can see up here where it's restored. This is all new restoration. Yeah, this would have been something if you'd have came in here when it was brand new. You got some scaffolding up in this part. This is cavernous. Holy cow, this is big. So they have a couple of replica Buddhas here. I'm not sure why they did a replica and didn't put their head back on. I guess they want to make it look like the ones they found. But they've done a nice job with restoring all of these, using the original bricks when they possibly can. Can't believe how many man hours it would have taken to build this place originally. They'd have quarried all these rocks, hauled them in. You can see the holes in it where they used the pieces of wood. So they would drill a hole in it, stick a piece of wood in it, and then they would carry it that way. And then when they got here, they would just break the wood off. So they have little notches up there. They would have had some Buddhas. All right, so it looks like over here, this is a work in progress again. So this is the part where they're currently working to restore it. You see that tree on the corner. So that part of the walkway is gone. That corner right over there, and it would have tied into that. So over here, this is the eastern entrance. So we've walked all the way through it. There's the old original walkway. Here's where they're remodeling. And then the lower wall here, and there's the moat. Trees everywhere, all these big bricks. All right, let's walk back through and we'll go over to where we started at. Yeah, this temple is quite amazing. It's not as in good a shape as like Angkor Wat or a couple of the other temples, but you know, you can see where whenever they get this done, remodeling it, this place is going to be as amazing as any of the rest of them. There's a team here from India trying to fix it up, so whenever they get done, probably, you know, you've come back in 5-10 years, this place will look completely different than it does now. There'll be a lot more that you can see and look at. Now this is where they filmed the movie Tomb Raider, so everybody calls this one the Tomb Raider Temple. And it's a popular place. All the locals are out with the traditional clothes on. They're taking pictures. All the tourists are posing for pictures in front of the trees that are overgrowing the walls and everything. But it's quite an amazing place. You can spend hours and hours and hours here. So hopefully my video won't be hours and hours long. So let's keep looking around and let's see some more of this place. So you can see here, so this is basically a big Lego project. More of these bricks to try to figure out how to put them in place. Now this temple here was used as a hospital. So all the sick and everything could come over here and get the treatment that was available to them at the time. So you can see they're trying to restore all of that. And it was, you know, in really, really bad shape. A lot of these walls were completely down, so they've had to come back in and find out where each piece goes together and reassemble the walls. And there's lots and lots more to do. Now we've just explored the center of this. There's all those trees and everything, so there's more to this whole area that we won't be able to see because it's you can't access it through these walls and out into the trees and stuff. As you can see the tree there, and this was that walkway. They're doing what they can to keep it shored up a little bit. And then just so many of these big trees that have taken over. And this is kind of cool. So you got the wall here, it's got a missing part, and then you can look right over here to the other wall and then part of the moat. Yeah, this is a fantastic place. So right in here, this is the place where they filmed the movie, The Tomb Raider. I guess I probably should watch that movie so I'd know what they're talking about, but they pointed this out. This is where they were doing all the stuff. So this is the famous part. Check out that tree. Kind of a cool visual. All right, guys, that finishes up our walk around over here at Ta Prohm Temple. This place is absolutely colossal. It's had the most restoration work done to it. So it's authentic, but it's kind of the most inauthentic because it's been restored so much. It is amazing. The whole temple grounds itself is 1 kilometer by 700 meters. And this is where they filmed that old movie with Tomb Raider. So it's a pretty popular place for people to come over and take some pictures. So anyway, if you liked the video, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I do this kind of stuff. I go walk around and show you what I see and tell you a little bit about what I know. If you like that, then stick around and leave me a comment. If you've been here or if you want to come, tell me that also. So until next time, guys, remember, life is a journey from here in Siem Reap. Enjoy.